I want to kick things off today with a feeling. I think it's a feeling that pretty much everyone listening has had recently.
Yeah.
It's that, sinking feeling. You're at the grocery store, maybe the gas station, and you look at the total.
Hmm.
And then you look at what you're actually buying, and the math doesn't feel right. $100 just feels lighter.
It feels like it's missing something. Like you remember what that 100 used to buy? You remember the grocery cart being full to the brim? And now
Yes,
you're walking out with 2 bags wondering, wait, did I forget something?
that's exactly it. And that feeling, that mystery, is what we're doing a deep dive into today. We're looking at the source, the erosion of purchasing power.
Right.
And our mission here is really specific. It's
Yeah.
not just to say, oh, prices are high. We know that.
Yeah.
We want to understand where the value went.
Because we tend to think the price tag is what's changing.
Hmm?
But the source argues we should be looking at the money itself.
The money is changing.
The money is changing. We think of a dollar as a fixed unit, like an inch or a pound.
Mhm.
But it's not. The ruler we're using to measure value is actually shrinking
And that is a terrifying thought if you're, say, trying to save for the future.
or paying off a mortgage.
Right. And that's who this is for, because as we'll see, this whole dynamic affects those two groups, savers and borrowers, in completely opposite ways.
It really does. It creates winners and losers in a way that feels uh, really counterintuitive.
Mm-hmm.
But to get there, we have to understand the basic mechanic first.
Okay.
And the source uses this great analogy to strip away all the jargon.
The ticket theory.
The ticket theory. It's a perfect way to visualize it. So imagine you go to a carnival.
Okay.
You go to a booth and you buy a roll of paper tickets. Now, those tickets themselves are worthless. You can't eat them.
Right. They're just paper.
Their only value is as a claim check. 1 ticket gets you a hot dog, 2 tickets, a ride on the Ferris wheel.
So my salary, the money in my bank account, it's really just a big pile of claim checks.
Exactly. It's potential. It's a ticket to get goods and services later.
Okay, I'm with you.
Now, here's where the erosion happens. Imagine the carnival stays the same.
Yeah.
Same hot dogs, same rides. But the organizers just print 1 million more tickets, and they hand them out to everyone.
Okay, so suddenly there are way more tickets floating around.
Way more. The guy running the hot dog stand looks out and sees everyone has fistfuls of tickets. What does he do?
He's going to want more tickets for his hot dogs. He changes the sign.
Precisely. It's not 1 ticket anymore. Now it's 2 or 3. The hot dog didn't get better. The ticket got weaker. It got diluted.
And that's inflation.
That's the core of it. Your claim check, your $100 bill, just entitles you to a smaller piece of the pie.
It really changes how you think about it. It's not that the store is ripping you off. It's that your money is just weaker.
Your money is weak. And the research breaks down the 2 engines, as they call them, that actually cause this dilution.
Right. And understanding the two engines is key because they feel very different.
Very different. One feels like a party, the other feels like a punishment.
Okay, so let's get into engine number 1. The source calls this demand pull inflation.
Demand pull. This is the one you hear about most often.
It's pretty much what it sounds like, right? The demand for stuff is literally pulling the price up.
Exactly.
And the source points to a few U.S. examples here, talking about extra money in the system from things like stimulus or expanded benefits.
Right. Without getting into the politics of it, just looking at the mechanics.
Purely the mechanic.
You're just handing out more tickets at the carnival gate. So what's the first thing people do when they have pockets full of extra tickets?
They spend them. It feels like a bonus. It's free money.
They want to redeem those claim checks immediately. So you get this huge surge in spending. People are buying new TVs, cars, fixing up their homes. The source says they're buying everything in sight.
But the number of TVs and cars didn't just magically increase overnight.
No. The supply is fixed, at least in the short term. The carnival can't build a new roller coaster in an afternoon.
So you have, what's the phrase? Too many dollars chasing too few goods.
That is the textbook definition. It creates a bidding war. If there's 1 TV left and 5 people want it, what can the store do?
They can jack up the price.
And they will. The price goes up until only 1 person is willing or able to pay it. The demand literally pulls the price up.
So demand pull inflation is actually a side effect of the system being flush with cash. We, the consumers, are driving it.
In a way, yeah. It's the symptom of an over-energized economy.
Right.
But then you have the second engine.
Which feels completely different.
Completely. It doesn't feel like a party getting out of hand.
No, this one feels like a grind. Engine number 2 Cost push inflation.
Right.
And I liked how the source explained this one. They use a character, a guy named Sean.
Yeah, the Sean example really brings it home. It shows you the producer's side of the equation.
So Sean's not some big CEO. He just runs a local burger joint.
A small business owner.
And the scenario is the price of oil suddenly spikes, which, we all feel at the pump, but for Sean, it's a catastrophe.
It's a complete disaster. It creates this domino effect.
Walk us through that.
Well, to make a burger, Sean needs beef, buns, lettuce, cheese, wrappers. All of it has to get delivered to his restaurant
On a truck.
on a truck that runs on diesel. When oil prices go up, the trucking company has to charge him more for delivery.
Okay.
The farmer who raised the cattle, his costs go up, so the price of beef goes up. Even the electricity to run the grill gets more expensive.
So every single one of his costs just got pushed up.
Every single one. And that's the push and cost push. The costs are pushing from the ground up, forcing his prices higher.
He's not raising prices because he has a line out the door.
No, not at all. He's looking at his books and realizing that if he keeps his burger at $10, he's actually losing money on every single sale.
So he raises prices, and the source uses this specific phrase. He does it to survive.
It's survival. It's not greed. It's a huge distinction. In demand pull, prices rise because business is great. In cost push, prices rise because doing business is just becoming impossibly expensive.
So the customer ends up paying more for the burger, but Sean isn't getting any richer.
He's just treading water.
Yeah.
And that's why cost push feels so much worse for everyone. Prices are high, but nobody feels wealthy.
And when you put the two together, it's a real double whammy for that $100 bill.
It is. Which brings us to what I think is the most fascinating part of this research.
The winners and losers.
Yeah. The assumption is always that inflation is bad for everyone equally. But the source says, no, that's not true at all.
This is the part that really made me, reevaluate my own finances. Because the loser here is the person you'd think is doing everything right. It's the saver.
The responsible one. The person who follows all the old advice, save for a rainy day.
Right. And the source uses the mattress analogy. So let's say I'm being responsible. I save up $1,000 and I put it under my mattress for safekeeping.
You're not risking it. You're not spending it. You're preserving it.
I leave it there for 1 year. What happens?
Well, the source runs the numbers. Let's say inflation is at 5% that year. When you pull out that cash, you still have 10 $100 bills. The number is the same.
But I can't buy the same amount of stuff.
You can buy 5% less stuff. The source calls it a silent tax. By doing what you thought was the safe thing, doing nothing, you have actively lost wealth.
Wow.
The purchasing power of your savings just evaporated while it was sitting there. That $1,000 you saved to buy a new lawnmower, well, now the lawnmower costs $1,050. You can't afford it anymore.
That just feels so wrong. It feels like the system is punishing you for being prudent. Standing still is actually moving backward.
That's the hard truth of it. In an inflationary world, cash is a melting ice cube.
A melting ice cube. I like that.
If you aren't doing something with it, it's shrinking.
Which brings us to the other side, the winners.
The borrowers. And I have to admit, my brain just short-circuited when I read that. The people in debt are winning. It goes against everything I've ever been taught. It feels completely backward. But you have to look at the mechanics of it, especially with something like a long-term fixed-rate loan.
Like a mortgage.
A mortgage is the perfect example.
Yeah.
So let's say you take out a mortgage today for $400,000 to buy a house.
Okay, that's a lot of debt.
It is. But think about the dollars. Today, you are borrowing $400,000 of today's dollars. They're valuable. They have high purchasing power. They buy you a whole house.
Right. I get the house now.
But you're paying that loan back over the next 30 years. And what do we know about the value of a dollar, the value of the ticket over 30 years?
It's going to shrink. It's going to be worth less.
A lot less. So your monthly payment, let's say it's $2,000. That number is fixed. It will always be $2,000.
Okay.
But in 10 or 20 years, what is $2,000 going to be worth? Probably not very much. Your wages will have likely gone up with inflation. Getting $2,000 will be much easier than it is today.
So I'm paying the bank back with cheaper money.
You are paying them back with cheap dollars. You borrowed valuable, expensive dollars, and you're giving them back weak, diluted dollars.
Which is why the source calls inflation the borrower's friend.
It literally eats away at the real value of your debt. The bank, or whoever holds your loan, is the one losing purchasing power. Meanwhile, you're living in an asset, the house, that's probably going up in value because of that very same inflation.
That is just, it's a staggering thought. It really suggests the whole system is set up to reward taking on debt and punish just holding on to your cash.
It absolutely creates a specific set of incentives. If you know your cash is losing 5% of its value every year just sitting there, what are you incentivized to do?
Get rid of it, spend it, or buy something with it.
You spend it or you borrow more to buy assets like real estate or stocks that you hope will keep pace with inflation. It discourages the very idea of saving cash.
So for anyone listening, you have to sort of figure out where you stand. Are you the person with money under the mattress or the person with the mortgage?
And most of us are some combination of both, which makes it feel so chaotic. The rules of the game are constantly shifting under your feet.
Okay, so let's just zoom out for a second and recap. Money isn't a stable ruler. It's more like a shrinking ticket.
Right. A claim check for less and less over time.
And there are two engines making it shrink. Demand pull, which is too much money.
Chasing too few goods, the party getting out of control.
And cost push, which is Sean, the burger guy, just trying to survive rising costs.
Exactly. And this whole process drives a wedge in society. It hurts savers and, counterintuitively, it helps long-term borrowers.
It's a lot to get your head around, but I want to stick with that winners and losers idea for a final thought.
Sure.
Because if the system really works this way, if this erosion is a constant feature and it rewards borrowing and punishes saving, I mean, are we essentially being forced to live in debt?
That's the multi-trillion-dollar question, isn't it?
Seriously. If I try to save up cash to buy a house, I'm fighting a losing battle. My savings are melting. The price of the house is rising. It seems like the only way to win, or even just to keep up, is to borrow. To take on that mortgage. Opting out doesn't feel like a real choice.
You're hitting on a really fundamental critique of our entire monetary system. If a currency is designed to depreciate over time, and most central banks actually want a little bit of inflation,
Right. They target it.
they target it, then yes, it forces participation. You can't just put your money under the mattress. You are compelled to become an investor, a speculator, a borrower, just to protect what you have.
So you can't just be good at your job and save your money.
No, you also have to become a kind of part-time hedge fund manager for your own household just to stop your savings from disappearing.
A hedge fund manager for your own household. That perfectly sums up the anxiety of it all.
It really does. It removes the option of just being passive.
Well, on that slightly stressful, but very clarifying note, that's where we'll wrap this deep dive. Hopefully, this gives all of you a new framework for what's happening when you're at the checkout line.
Understanding the mechanics is half the battle. It helps you navigate things, even if you can't change them.
Absolutely. Thanks for breaking down the machinery for us today. And to everyone listening, take a look at your own strategy. We'll see you on the next deep dive.
Take care.